So we have Christmas coming up. You have an initiative that you've been running for a few years now, I believe, the Christmas for the Righteous. Tell us about that, Jonny.
Honestly, I have to tell you, I think that's my favorite, one of my favorite projects that we've done. I'm in an incredibly special position where, I'm the only person in the world that has met the majority of the living righteous amongst the nations.
Yeah, it's incredible.
The only person in the world.
Yeah.
And it's something I'm remarkably proud about. Like, I've spent quite a few years by this point traveling through Eastern Europe and further, all the way down to Albania, meeting the last Muslim righteous, Belarus, Ukraine, all over, helping and supporting the last living righteous amongst the nations. And that really came from, at least for me, this feeling of absolute gratitude that we need to have for these people. These people who risked their lives just 80 years ago to save their Jewish neighbor. And especially in the context of today, when you look at October 7th and the lack of allies the Jewish community has, you realize, today, one, even like yourself, right, by standing up for Israel and for Jews, by standing up for the West, you're risking what? You're risking likes on your Instagram, right?
Well, I mean, you get death threats.
You get death threats too.
It's not nice.
I know it's not nice, but you're risking something, and most people are too scared to do that.
Sure.
Most people are too scared to do that.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Now imagine 80 years ago.
Yeah, no, how much more?
Like actually risking your life.
No, actually
right?
Risking
Not
life,
not some
life,
nutcase in Indonesia. Where do these Indonesians come from anyway? But
I don't know.
So many of them, I get comments and stuff.
We got a coordinated cyber attack by Indonesian, Malaysian, and Palestinian hackers.
I had the same thing. Like suddenly, and I can't understand anything there. Like just suddenly, my whole Instagram's like, blah, blah, blah. I'm like.
Thousands. We got thousands of comments on each of our posts.
Yeah.
Mostly about Free Palestine. And there was one video, it was about Moldova of all places. And the top comment was why is everyone talking about Palestine on this video about Moldova? What did I miss?
Yeah. And you understand what that risk is today.
Yeah.
Throw that back 80 years.
No,
these people actually risk their lives, and people were killed for, say, the Ulma family that we've spoken about, who were risking the whole birtification process by the Pope and by the Church for Catholic Church, remembering and honoring this remarkable Polish family who gave their lives. The risk was very real, and so when you look at these people, for me came this strong understanding of, okay, we need to stand up and do what's right by them right now. And especially during COVID, I based myself out of Warsaw, Poland, where the majority of the last living righteous still live, in Poland and the surrounding areas, and basically spent a year and a half driving to each and every single one of them with all the food, medication, aid, whatever they needed. When Joseph Owaszczak, who we both spent time with, who saved 54 Jewish people, he died at the age of, I think, 103.
Yeah, he was old.
He was 100 years old during COVID.
Yeah.
It wasn't right for Joseph to go and fight for toilet paper.
No.
Right?
It wasn't right.
It wasn't right.
It wasn't right.
So, and this was exactly the time that we needed to stand up for them. So this is where it really happened. But Christmas came out as a result of the fact that one of the things that I always like to talk to the righteous about, and I told them, I was like, what was it like during the festival times, right? So, and a lot of them would say, well, I used to get, and they'd suddenly, like, this spark would come in their eyes. Like, we'd find a little extra piece of carp or fish for the Jews for their festivals because we know that they like that.
Yeah.
And again, this is times like, it's not having someone in your house today and having Uber Eats and just giving them whatever it is.
It's really not.
During the Second World War, people had nothing to eat.
Yeah.
So sharing that, stretching that, doubling it, tripling, quadrupling it is almost impossible.
Yeah.
And it wasn't hiding someone for a few days.
No,
it wasn't a friend coming and staying on your couch for a couple of nights. You're like, oh my God, get out already.
Yeah.
These are people living there for years.
Years. Yeah.
The utter bravery was absolutely remarkable. Yeah. And so the festival times was something for me that was really poignant in their stories. And then I saw them coming to celebrate their Christmas. And unfortunately, by this point, the majority of the Jews that were saved by them are no longer alive because this is so long ago.
Yeah.
Some of the families didn't remain in contact, often because of language barriers and so on and so forth.
Communism.
And communism. Well, it's here in Poland especially, right? And all over Eastern Europe, right? The war finished. The Jews who were saved escaped, be it to North America or Israel, United Kingdom, wherever it was, Europe. And these righteous were left during communism. And then during that time, it was actually dangerous to be in contact with someone from the West.
Sure.
So this contact was lost. Anyway, you end up in this situation where these people are virtually alone. And so this was this opportunity right now where we're able to stand up for them. And so every Christmas I go and I create these massive Christmas hampers.
Sure.
That are just full with everything they need, first of all, to have a wonderful Christmas at home with their families, which is the most important thing. So, everything from, the fish that they like to, the borscht, the soups and the, chocolates and sweets and like really nice teas that no one would buy themselves. This year we're going to be giving everybody brand new electric heaters because electricity's got so expensive here and heating their home something difficult for them. Even things like specialty teas, just little things that will make them happy. But I think the most important thing, and also Christmas trees. I take each and every single one of them a Christmas tree as well. Because, again, a 90-year-old lady isn't going to be able to take a Christmas tree upstairs in her home. Like, it's too difficult for her.
Yeah.
So I bring Christmas to them. And for me, that opportunity to give them this love and respect and to their holidays, is something that I feel incredibly proud of. And I'm turning into Jewish Santa once a year is a fun thing. It really is. It's one of the. It's an exhausting trip. I rent a van and travel.
How many righteous is it this year, Jonny?
So there's 95 righteous left living in the entire world.
It's not even 100.
Not even 100. 27,000 plus people were honored by Yad Vashem, by the state of Israel, for risking their lives to save Jews, of which just 95 are living today.
That's incredible. Wow.
In the whole world.
Yeah. How many in Poland of those?
Just under 60.
Yeah.
Just under 60. In Poland, and I think the reason for which is in Poland, a lot of children were very active also in saving people's lives in Poland. Even as a young child, right? You'd be the lookout, you'd be the person bringing the food, you'd bring this other stuff.
Yeah.
So children were also, as a result of such, honored as righteous amongst the nations. So, I mean, even someone who's 90 years old today...
Yeah, of course, would have been very young.
Would have been very young.
Would have been 10, 12.
But they... I mean, and you think about... I have a daughter who's 10, right?
Yeah.
If I told her, right, you're not to tell any of your friends...
Yeah.
Right, you are a watch out. You're bringing food to the people hiding in our outhouse. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah,
these people risk
and
their lives.
Life was obviously very much in danger because the Ulmer family, one of many families that have been killed. The Germans shot. All the children were under 10 years old. There's 6 children, one 8-month-old unborn child. But that ties in quite neatly with the subject of Camille, this Filipino lady in Israel, where we did a joint fundraise for her. Jonny, tell us the story of Camille.
I mean, this was within all the atrocities and difficulties of October 7th. This one story caught my eye.
Yeah,
and I know it did you as well. There was this kind of spark of greatness.
Yeah.
Camille is a 31-year-old Filipino lady.
Yeah.
Who takes care of a 94, almost 95-year-old Israeli called Nitsa.
Mm-hmm.
Nitsa's a wonderful lady. She was born in the land of Israel and grew up as part of that, and just a most remarkable lady. And she's elderly and has a carer who takes care of her.
Mm-hmm.
They live in the south, in one of the kibbutzim near the border. And on October 7th, terrorists entered their kibbutz. And unfortunately, as we saw, the lives of both the foreign workers and the Israelis were not spared.
Sure.
Many foreign workers were massacred. Others were taken in. A lot of Thai, Filipino workers were taken hostage, and some are actually still in captivity right now. And Camille, effectively, she was in her home at the time with Nitsa, and she was texting with like the WhatsApp group of the kibbutz that they were in, and she got and they understood that there was a lot of. They heard these rockets. They went into the safe room. Most houses in Israel have a room by the way, in a building. This is also something that people don't understand. But in almost every apartment in Israel, you're going to have a room that's built out of very heavy concrete that can withstand a rocket attack.
Yeah.
So every new building in Israel has to have a building like that, has to have a room like that. You know, where you are in Israel is based on how long you have to hide from a rocket, to run from a rocket.
Yeah.
So in Tel Aviv, I have a slightly more amount. I have enough time in Tel Aviv to quickly put my trousers on, shoes, grab my keys, my dog, kids, and run to the bomb shelter.
Yeah.
Right? In the southern cities, you have seconds.
Yeah.
Literal seconds. So she'd gone with Nitsa into the bomb shelter, and then terrorists started approaching. She had heard the terrorists coming towards, and she'd heard the Arabic. She'd previously worked in the United Arab Emirates and spoke a little Arabic.
Mm.
She was lucky in as much that one terrorist entered there. And she understood that people were being killed.
Mm.
And she basically went and took her bag with her, pleaded for her life, and explained to the terrorist that, look, this is all the money I've made. It's everything I have on me. Take the money and leave us. Spare our lives, please. And miraculously, this terrorist agrees. He took all her money, stuffed it in his pocket, and ran out.
Incredible.
And then she went back. And at that point, she could have run out the house. She could have attempted to hide. But Nitsa, this old lady, was lying in the bed.
Yeah.
She refused to leave Nitsa. She got in the bed next to Nitsa, laid with her, held her close. Nitsa was calling out. She was scared. She was nervous. Like the involuntary noises that, unfortunately, elderly people make.
Sure.
Apparently, screaming, Ima, Ima, mother, mother. Nitsa was petrified. Camille sat there and covered her mouth and laid with her for hours, keeping her calm and quiet, whilst terrorists were still going through their village. Camille could have hidden.
Yeah.
Hidden much better and just left Nitsa there. She didn't. She stayed with her. She saved her life multiple times during that day. And when I heard that story, it reminded me directly of the stories of the righteous amongst the nations, the people that my foundation works with. And I knew that not only did we have to repay the money that Nitsa lost, but she deserves a hell of a lot more than that. That Camille lost, but she deserves a lot more than that. Camille, it's no secret that she's having a hard time. She's having a hard time sleeping at night. She's in therapy. It's difficult for her. This is a scar for the rest of her life, a very significant one.
Yeah.
The least that we can do for her is make sure that she has this capability and possibility to live her life with a level of normality. And that's really why we decided to step up and help her. And, together with Visegrad and ourselves, we were able to raise quite a nice chunk of money for her.
Good.
And hopefully a little bit more.
Yeah.
And just help her as much as we can. Let her go back when she wants to. And, even now, even after this finished, the family of Nitsa came to Camille and said, look, if you want to go back, don't want to stay in Israel, we get it. And she said, no, I'm going to stay with Nitsa till she dies. Even now, she's staying with Nitsa. The home has been destroyed. They're in a hotel-like facility in Jerusalem where they've been put up. And she's sleeping on a little bed, taking care of Nitsa. And you just looked at this lady, and I was with her in Jerusalem, and your heart explodes. This lady is a true angel. It's exactly the same feeling that I get when I meet with these righteous amongst the nations. Yeah, you realize you're sitting amongst angels. You're sitting amongst the best of humanity. And that was a very special thing to be able to do.
Well, thank you very much, Jonny. It's great to have you. Great conversation.
As always.
Yeah. And let's hope we raise some more money for Camille.
Absolutely. And, keep up the good work. I mean, again, and I think this is also important, that what you've created at Visegrad has been this absolutely incredible opportunity to be a voice, to tell the truth. And I know that doesn't come without risk. And I know that it doesn't come without a massive headache as well.
Yeah.
And it's not easy, right? We as Jews have always been outnumbered, right? That's just part of what it is. and to stand alongside us and with us in such a strong and unafraid and unwavering fashion is something that all of us are grateful for, truly grateful for. I just came from Israel, where I even met with Minister Shikli, who's the Minister of Diaspora Affairs and combating anti-Semitism. And we were talking about Visegrad 24 and talking about the incredible work. And truly, all of us are so thankful to have friends and allies who are willing to stand up, who are willing to tell the truth in an unafraid fashion, even if it means death threats from people in Malaysia. but we support it. But and I'm making fun of that. But the truth is it doesn't. It really does come with risk.
Sure.
And we understand that, and we are grateful, truly grateful. So thank you.
No, I'm in pleasure.
No, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. That's today's podcast, and yeah, see you in the next episode.